Hello, everybody. Welcome to this tutorial today. We're going to talk about three-note shell voicings for jazz guitar comping. So this is ideal if you're just getting into jazz guitar and want to start accompanying yourself or a vocalist or an instrumentalist through jazz standards. These shapes will get you through any song. So grab your guitar and let's get started. Type in the chat where you are, who you are, where you're at. I always get that wrong. Cheers. And also, don't forget to do this. I appreciate the thumbs up if you're enjoying these lessons, these live streams. So today I've got my Taylor guitar here. Hopefully the dots will help you. This is 3, 5, 7, 9, and 12, just for your reference. As you watch this video and also probably review this video as well. I'll tilt it a little bit so you could see the first fret too. I'll probably do this. So I just added some more PDFs to the link that's in the description. If you want to grab it, feel free to grab it. I added the 7th chord theory because I'm going to talk some theory here in a second. So in case you want to grab the PDF, feel free to grab it. And then I put another example, summertime. I do have a lot of examples for 3-note chord voicings and comping on Patreon, from minor swing to All of Me to Autumn Leaves and a lot of walking bass stuff. But I'm going to just talk about the basics today. But first, let me say hello, David, Darvin, Keith. Welcome, guys. Hope you're all enjoying the sunny weather here. Well, I'm enjoying the sunny weather in Portland, but I don't know how's the weather in where you're at. Darvin, great to see you. We need to set up another lesson. Looking forward to that. And Yukon, welcome. Hey, Bobby, you're new. Good to see you. Not sure if you're a Patreon member or not yet, but hopefully you'll join the club here. I know everyone else. Lou, I don't know you, but good luck on doing your taxes. All right. Well, let's please feel free to keep typing in the chat. I appreciate it. I like to see all of your names pop up. It makes me rain and cold. Yeah, it's kind of late. Probably where if you're in the East Coast, it's already getting late. And if you're in Australia, it's turning into fall. So don't worry, we'll do Autumn Leaves. I hope you guys already saw the oh, cool, Lou. Thanks for mentioning. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't see your name pop up, and I see a lot of the other names and getting to know folks. So it's good. Yeah, please just keep commenting. And I always try to accommodate any requests, especially on Patreon. But today we can look at a few jazz standards. I can pop them up on the screen. And oh, cool, Bobby. Great. Yeah, thanks again. So we could pop up some standards on the screen. I'm trying out this new share screen here, and I like it. I actually did review the previous video, the last live stream, which I just talked about reading a lead sheet. So this is a continuation, but today's focus will be just 3-note chord voicings. Again, it's really great for comping in general, just to simplify. I'm going to talk about my approach. These are often called shell voicings. And I'm going to talk about the approach to it because there's if you look it up on the internet, you'll see different things. So I'm just going to talk about my approach, which is still continuing on with that concept of using either the 6th string or the 5th string root. Okay, just that only. And then the shapes that I like to use for the 5th string, you'll see some different shapes. But I really recommend that you download that free PDF that is in the description. The link is in the description. So yeah, if you guys have a standard that you want me to hit, I can pop it up on the screen. If I have it, I'm happy to do that. Otherwise, we'll just stick to the basic All of Me, Fly Me to the Moon, Autumn Leaves. Can't get any more basic than that. In Minor Swing, Sweet Georgia Brown, whatever, all the classics. But there's so many great songs I'm happy to hit. So let's talk shop for a second. Again, please grab the PDF. I do feel it's necessary. 2 things. You got to know your 7th chord formulas. So I'm going to say it, If you're fast at typing, feel free to type it. I always love to see who's the fastest typer. No, I'm joking. You don't have to be that fast. I'm like this when I'm typing. So, all right. So we major 7, dominant 7. You got to know your 7th chord voicings, and you got to know your 6th chord voicings. Those are essential to playing these and interpreting lead sheets. Again, please also review that previous live stream that I did 2 days ago on the reading the lead sheet, because you're going to want to learn to reduce these chords down to the essentials, because sometimes you'll see a lot of chords. You just got to know what's the basic. That does require some theoretical knowledge, okay? But pretty much you can reduce the chords down to a basic level. Even the harmonic rhythm. Harmonic rhythm defines how fast the chords change. You can often take out unnecessary chord movement. So maybe not like 1, 5, 1. You could just stay on the 1. You don't have to necessarily go to the 5. You could just kind of, again, reduce it down to a basic harmonic rhythm and also a basic chord harmonic structure. Let me tune up this guitar. I actually haven't used it since the last live stream. I think that one was on Somewhere Over the Rainbow by Eric Clapton Inversion. Doing my all E method here. You guys don't know this. E. I'm not even sure if that's A440. I don't have a tuner on this, but E. E. That one's a little bit off there. But again, type in the chat. If you're enjoying these live streams, don't forget to thumbs up it. I always appreciate that. And it helps my YouTube algorithms, they say. We'll see about that. There we go. I love all those beautiful 9th chords, minor, major 7. I love playing around with chord colors. You all know that. But today's lesson is just simple, okay? No More Blues. Cool, Darvin. Yeah, that's actually on my list for Patreon. That's going to be on there soon. That was a request. So we can take a look at that one and see what that looks like. That's not a tune I normally play. I've played it before, but it's not in my normal repertoire. Okay, so let's talk. Again, feel free to type in the chat, or just talk through with me. If I said major, these are the 7th chord and 6th chord formulas. We'll do it on the guitar in a second, but I do recommend that you can just say it. So major 7, 1, 3, 5, 7. And really what that means is you take the scale, major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you take 1, 3, 5, 7. So here's G major scale. You take 1, 3, 5, 7. But we're playing it as a chord. And we learn these grip chord shapes. Drop 3 voicings, drop 2 voicings. What I call grip chord shapes. Again, check out my previous lesson if you want to do that. Today, though, you have a whole new set of shapes. A couple of them come out of the 6-string shapes, but on the 5th string, I have a new set for you. So again, too many chords there for what song? Oh, No More Blues, Darvin. You could keep typing in the chat. I'm checking it out there. Keeping my eye on it. Okay, let's talk theory, guys. Ready? Major 7. You say 1, 3, 5, 7. Got to go through the list. Dominant 7, 1, 3, 5, flat 7. Okay, this way you know what needs to change in order to accomplish these chords. Minor 7, 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7. Minor 7, flat 5. That's one where you see a circle with a line through it, diagonal line. That's minor 7, flat 5, 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 7. Fully diminished 7, 1, flat 3, flat 5, double flat 7, aka 6. So on a diminished 7th chord, the 7th degree is double flatted, but that just really turns out to be a 6. So if I'm on G, there's the double flat 7. It's just an E note, okay? But it's supposed to be called F flat. But really, most people will just call it an E. So again, please know your theory. Check out the formula worksheet I just sent, or no, I didn't send it to you. This is not a workshop per se. It's just a live stream, but it's in the description. Carl, good to see you. All right, so those are your 7th chords. Let's do it one more time. Major 7, you say 1, 3, 5, 7. Dominant 7, 1, 3, 5, flat 7. Minor 7, 1 flat 3 5, that's a minor triad, flat 7. Minor 7 flat 5, exactly what the name says. 1 flat 3 flat 5, flat 7. Fully diminished 7, 1 flat 3 flat 5, there's your diminished triad, and then double flat 7, which is a 6th degree. Those are your formulas. Again, we want to be able to modify our chord shapes so that you learn your formulas for the 7th chords. And we're going to have 2 6 chords that we use: major 6, 1 3 5 6, and minor 6, 1 flat 3 5 6. Okay, this is just the basics of jazz theory that you need to know for both chords and arpeggio playing. Those formulas, and of course you might be able to do it, but it's good just to kind of talk through it, talk shop. Let's play it. So here's G major 7, G dominant 7, we flat the 7, G minor 7, we flat the 3rd, G minor 7, flat 5, we flat the 5th, G diminished 7, we double flat that 7, so we take the flat 7, we make it a 6, and I bar across here. Again, I covered this in many of my video lessons, I realize, but I always say this is a great warm-up routine if you're just getting into jazz guitar, okay? So now there's 2 6s, and I recommend that you start with the major 7, and you take that 7 and you go to a 6. So it's right here. And that's where you got to make sure, we'll talk about this again, the notes, besides just memorizing the shapes, I want you to make sure you know where the 1, the 7, the 3, and the 5 are. So you have the major 7, major 6. This note. I always say to vocalize it. Minor 7, minor 6. And if you play swing in the Manouche style, Gypsy Jazz, you're probably used to this. That minor 6. Okay, that's a very, very Django style chord, the minor 6 chord shape. But again, minor 7, minor 6. The 6 does not change whether the chord is major 6 or minor 6. Don't let the major and minor throw you off. The 6th degree is still a whole step above the 5th. There is such thing as a flat 6 chord. Here's a minor with the add flat 6. Notice I said the word add. And at that point, I call that an inversion for E flat major 7 with the slash G. So it's a 3rd in the bass. But we're not going to do that today. Don't worry. But I've got some examples of that beautiful chord as well already, when to use those slash chords and the inversions. So again, that's the study with the 6-string root. Check out the grip chord shape routine. I put that in the last live stream, so you might have to dig through my posts. Let's also do it now on the 5th string. Ready? We're just going to go through the grip chord routine here. C major 7, C dominant 7, we flatted the 7, C minor 7, we flatted the 3rd, C minor 7, flat 5, we flatted the 5th, and C fully dim 7, we double flatted that 7, which is that 6th degree. Now C major 7, and then C major 6. This is a little bit of a stretch here. C minor 7, and C minor 6. Again, this is just, to me, what I always have my students do. This is the fundamentals of it. Then we can fancy up an alter and extend these voicings from there. But that's the foundation. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the 3-note shapes. Again, if you're just joining in, welcome. We're talking 3-note shell voicings today. We're going to apply it to some jazz standards, and you'll get it down and be able to do it. I'm going to show you a couple fingering tricks that I like to use, that I think about when practicing. So we're going to go back to the 6-string root here now, the major 7 shape, 1 7 3 5. So with the shell voicings, we're eliminating the 5th degree. Okay, so that means in this shape, we're going to take off the 2nd string. So it's just those 1 7 3. Okay, so this is again how I like to play it. You'll see, if you do research on the internet, you will find some other voicings as well, because we could do it like, we could put 1 3 7. Okay, and that's nice. It's darker, but typically when I'm playing, I skip on the 6-string root. I skip the 5th string. Okay, so I keep everything on this. This is kind of the key here. You keep the 2 notes, the 3rd and the 7th, when they're called the guide tones, on the 4th and the 3rd string. Okay. Okay, so, and then you got the root on the 6th or 5th. So here we go, G major 7. We're going to go through this. I hope you have it. I can pop it up on the screen too and do a sound slice practice video of it because I do have that available. All of my sound slice practice videos are on Patreon exclusively. There are no sound slice videos for sale, but I have hundreds and hundreds of them that's available to Patreon members. So that's a good reason to consider joining. G major 7, G dominant 7. This is my 3rd fret, by the way, G. So you got to know. That's the other thing. Make sure you know your notes on the 6th and the 5th string. Again, watch that last lesson. We went through and talked numbers, the tabs of where those notes are. You remember I said A, you say 5. I say G, you say 3. I say F sharp, you say 2. I say D, you say 10. You got to make sure you're fast at knowing where those roots are, the bass notes. And again, this is the foundation, the basics. Okay, so I'm just telling you what I think is important to know to help you get fast at playing and reading charts and lead sheets. So here we go. Here's the little routine for 3-note voicings. G major 7, G dominant 7, G minor 7, G minor 7 flat 5. No, that's not a trick. Remember, we're not playing the 5th degree, which is on the 2nd string, so that it was the same. And then G dim 7, and that's all I did was lower that 7 to the 6. Okay, now major 6 and minor 6. Did I go through that too quickly? Let's go to A major 7, A dominant 7, flat the 7, A minor 7, flat the 3. A minor 7 flat 5. It's the same as a minor 7 3-note voicing. A dim 7. Lower that to the 6. And you might say, isn't that a minor 6 chord? It could be. So let's do the 6s. Major 6, minor 6. You might say, isn't that the diminished 7 shell? Yeah, it could be. We don't have the 5th degree, so we don't know. So now you know that the 5th degree defines whether it's minor 6 or fully diminished 7. Okay. The 5th degree also defines a minor 7 or minor 7 flat 5, similarly, right? Okay, so again, by knowing this, you can extend the chords later and alter them also. Okay, let's do one more on the 6th string. Ready? Let's go to C. On the 8th fret here. C major 7, C dominant 7, C minor 7, C minor 7 flat 5. Good, same thing. 8 8 8. C dim 7. Okay. 8 7 8. Again, I'm on the 6th, 4th, and the 3rd string respectively. These shell voicings that I teach and use myself are primarily, again, or exclusively for this lesson. I break my rules sometimes for other reasons, but exclusively on the 6 5 4 sets of strings or 5 4 3. I'll say that again. 6 4 3 or the 5 4 3. Okay, you might see some shapes later, 3-note voicings if you dig. You might see 6 5 4. You might see 5 3 2. I'm talking about the string numbers, okay? But my method is I keep the 3rd and the 7th, what I call the guide tones. It can be a 6 too, though. However, those help define the quality of the chord. And again, quality does not mean how good or bad. It means whether it's major, minor, dominant, diminished, minor, half diminished. Those are your chord qualities. But they're also colors. So like C major 7, you can see a chart. It might be all of me. All of me. And it might just say C on the chart. C major. You can play C major 7. All of me. Or you might do C6. All of me. Or you might do both. All of me. Why not take all of me? And that was E7 there. Can't you see? And now I'm just kind of demonstrating. Good without you, take my lips. I want to lose them. There I went A minor 7 to A minor 6. Just for flavor. Again, that's the beautiful thing, is that A minor 7 and A minor 6 are interchangeable most of the time. Take my arms, I'll never use them. And I'm already going into songs right away, but this is what I want to do is have you play along with me. And if you have any questions, ask in the comments. Your goodbyes left me with eyes that cry. How could I go on, dear, without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me? And then we can do some walking bass lines. Comment to the style swing. Take my lips. So again, you have a lot of flexibility. Your goodbyes left me with eyes that cry. How could I go on, dear, without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me? Why not take all of me? Darvin, how do you strum those chords? Just those 3 strings. At first, I was just plucking them. I was doing this. That's a great question, by the way, but I'm going to go back to the 6 string because I was kind of getting carried away just with the demonstrations on the standard. But please, again, name a standard you want to look at. I'm going to just kind of choose the popular songs that everybody kind of knows, because this is another one of my teaching aspects. One of the reasons why I take requests too, because I want to expand your repertoire, but when I want people to choose songs, pick and choose songs that they love and that they know. I really feel like you'll learn a song better if you choose songs that you already know how it's supposed to sound in your head. Listen to a lot of versions of it. Stick with a handful of songs that you love. That's a great way to practice. So to answer Darvin's question regarding strumming, right now I don't have a pick on me, so I'm just going to use my thumb and my index finger. So I'm going to hold the major 7 like this, and you got to make sure you mute that 5th string. Again, I'm just showing you the 6 string roots. You should only hear those 3 strings, even though I'm strumming often all 6. So when I do it string by string for you, listen to this. The other strings kind of act as percussion. That's great. We want that for a rhythm guitar. I'm going major 7 to major 6, minor 7. So listen to this. That's what we want. We want to be able to strum all 6, but only hear 3. I would recommend that if you're interested more in that, check out some of my videos, my basic videos on Gypsy Jazz strumming, Gypsy Jazz Bootcamp, where I cover some of those topics a little bit more in depth. So again, that's the idea, is make sure that you again play the major 7. I'll do G. Strum all 6. Do it one at a time. Make sure you only hear 3 out of the 6 strings. That's called dampening or muting with your left hand. It's all in your left hand. Minor 6. Now there's a different thing that I'm doing here. I'm often pumping the strings like this. I'm going, and that allows me to choke the strings a little bit to control the duration. Now I'm playing kind of in the style of the Django style, the Gypsy Jazz, where I am really doing the la pump. Sometimes I'll exaggerate and lift up almost off the strings after every hit. Okay. So I hope that helps. Same topic on the 5th string too, except you have to mute the 6th string. So let's go ahead and do those Actually, let me quiz you guys a little bit further before we move to the fifth string. I want to take today's lesson super slow. B flat 7, bam. A flat major 7. F sharp minor 7. Okay, take my quiz here. I want you to be honest and tell me how you do. E flat major 7. The first thing when I say E flat, you got to be thinking what number? I wish I could hear you guys right now, but I hope you said 11. If you said 11, that's good. Because if you don't know your notes on the sixth string, knowing the shape's not going to help you. You got to know your root notes first. You got to make sure you master where you're at. Okay. By the way, this is my 12. I'm trying to show you this guitar. I chose my Taylor today. That's 12. You can see the spacing from the 9 to the 12 here. 3 frets. So this is 12. Ready? Let's do some more of this. Type in the comments. How you guys doing? Are you enjoying these type of little practice sessions? I know it's really probably basic for a lot of you, but I don't want to. I don't like to assume. So that's why I'm doing these really basic and what I feel are essential to learning and practicing jazz guitar. Because I see a lot of advanced videos, things like I learned bebop like this. It's like, okay, great, but how, you got to make sure you can do this first, the essentials. Okay, so even though I do like giant steps, and you can do giant steps as a 3-note, but again, you can not only do jazz standards, you can do a lot of the jazz classics, the hard stuff too, as 3-note voicings. Yukon's got a great question, I bet. Thanks, Darvin, for your feedback, and Keith, of course. How do you decide, or when do you play a 6-string root or a 5th string root? That's a great question. And it deals with the piano too. When you do the similar concept, too low gets muddy. On the guitar, however, the lowest note we have is E. So here's E minor 7, guys. This. I think that's rather muddy. There's a time for that, but I would probably choose this. Same 3 notes. I'll say the notes for you. E, D, G. Root, flat 7, flat 3, E minor 7. Okay, just this. But here it is. E, G, D. They inverted. Root, flat 3rd. We're going to do the 5th string root next. So make sure if you're watching this, grab your guitar. This is a slow down private lesson for you. 1, flat 3, flat 7. E minor 7. E minor 7. That right there is probably a good demonstration on when to choose it. I mean, I would probably generally want to hear that over this, because that's not so pleasant to me. E, F sharp minor 7, flat 5, B7, E minor 7. That's okay, but I would probably do this. The falling leaves drift by my window. 3-note voicings. Beyond leaves, red and gold. I see your lips, summer kisses. So there I chose G major 7 to C major 7. I stayed on the 6th string root. Okay, now, so one of the exercises that I have all of my students do, and I did this in the last lesson, the last live stream, I often will say, stay exclusively on either the 6th string or the 5th string. Now, there's a reason for that. I want you to memorize and learn your notes so well. I can say A, you say 5, F, 1, G, 3, C sharp, 9, E flat, 11. You got to just, again, be able to read the lead sheet. Let's see, what do I have? Oh, I don't know where my fake books are now, but I put them away. I'm trying to clean up. So again, you want to be able to see the chart, and it says F sharp minor 7. You say 2. You got to be a bass player first, and I don't mean to be repetitive and hard about that, but I just do want to reiterate, as I know many of you are just tuning in for the first time, so I am a little bit repetitive. So to answer your question again, I generally stay, to me, I stay in this area, this range. I like the F, okay, like if I'm playing Girl from Ipanema, it's a little bit muddy down here. I like that. It's a little darker, but up here, it's almost a little bit more melodic. Listen to this. versus this. Tall and tan, young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking. When she passes each one, she passes goes on. When she moves, she's like a samba that sways so cool, swings so gentle, and when she moves, each one she passes goes. And then do I want to go here? Oh, but I watch her, or down here? Oh, see, this one's I kind of like that more. But I'm not gonna say I don't ever do this. But I know it's darker, and the harmony is a little bit more obscure. But I want you so sadly. Maybe by the way, this is something new for you. You can also suss these chords out. How can I tell her I sussed her? Sus 4. Yes. So that was cool. D7 sus 4. By knowing where the third is and then resolving it. So these are little tricks. So you can do some fun stuff like that and add to this. Since I might as well finish it. But each day she walks through the sea. And notice major 7, major 6. We've got to do these 5th string roots so we can jam together. I'm just doing a quick demo show, kind of an overview for you of the 3-note voicings. And now I'm going to do the strum, Gypsy Bossa, they call it. So now I'm on the 5th string root, but notice my thumb kind of wraps around a little bit. I'm not doing Jimi Hendrix style. I'm just muting with my thumb. Now that's not possible for you if you don't like to wrap your thumb around. You just have to extend the whatever finger your root's on a little bit so it touches the 6. Because again, you want to be able to strum all 6 strings, but you're only hearing 3. 1, 3, and 1, 3, 7. Or in this case, that was 1, 3, 7. In this case, 1, 7, 3. So again, make sure you learn those which order they're in. Darvin's got a question. When do you decide to play the 3-note versus 4-note? Well, that's a good question. We'll take a look at that with some songs. Again, I think you'll find a time if you're. I like to often do it when I'm moving bass lines around. Often, like I was just kind of demonstrating. I like 3-note voicings. They're very mobile. So if I'm just playing rhythm guitar and I don't care about trying to be melodic with my comping, I'll just do 3-note. I'm back to all of me. Okay, so just kind of basic swing guitar. Piano players would use them also, and then they can solo on their right hand. They just play the shell voicings on the left hand, root 3rd, 7th. They'd often just play the root in the 7th. That's one way of doing it, just 2 voicings, or just a root in the 3rd. If you're a piano player, you probably know what I'm talking about. If not, you're going to want to try this out on piano. It makes playing jazz piano super fun and easy, and I'm all about that. So you can play all 3 notes, or you can just play 2 notes, or you can just play the guide tones, the 3rd and the 7th and the 6th, and assuming you have a bass player, you would let them. And that, similar to guitar, we can just do 2-note chord voicings too. So show you a quick example. Falling leaves. These are just 2 notes, red and gold. See, now I went ahead and did that. Then I see your lips. I want to play the root, but I'm just not playing any root. I'm just doing 2-note. You're gonna see these beautiful, beautiful guide tone comping. Listen to Jim Hall. Jim Hall is my favorite. Watch any video footage you can of him. Specifically, if you can watch Jim Hall, write this down, you guys. I know you're here for a reason. Write down, watch Jim Hall, first of all, but watch Jim Hall with Art Farmer. There's some great video footage that's on the internet. I have it on VHS. I think I bought it around 1999 or 97. I was like, oh, I get to finally watch Jim Hall. Of course, we're so lucky on YouTube. You get to watch all of the greats: Grant Green, Kenny Burrell, Jim Hall, Pat Metheny. George Benson, whoever your favorites are. But Jim Hall would just do this. Listen to Jim Hall with Paul Desmond. You'll hear what I'm talking about. Those RCA recordings, those are the best. Ed Bicker, very similar to the Jim Hall approach. Okay, enough shop talk. Oh my gosh, there's an animal behind me. All right, so let's practice the 5th string roots. So this is where we are not taking this shape, our grip chord shape, but instead we're sticking to that rule of going root 5-4-3. That's all I'll say. 5-4-3. What does that mean? 5th string, 4th string, 3rd string. 5-4-3 strings. Okay. So here's D major 7. D is the 5th fret. I know I wrote it on C if you have my PDF. If you're just joining in, by the way, we're doing Talking Shop, 3-note shell voicings for the jazz guitar player. G dominant 7. And there's a batch of PDFs that I have for free. If you're on Patreon, of course, you probably have them. Minor 7. Minor 7 flat 5. See, there's no 5th. Same thing. Dim 7. Major 6. Minor 6. Okay, let's do that again. Let's start on C. C major 7. C dominant 7. C minor 7. C minor 7 flat 5. It's not a trick question. Same thing. C dim 7. C major 6. C minor 6. Major 7. Major 6. Major 7. Bossa. Minor 7 to minor 6. These are just these little practice. Now, this is a little bit tricky here, fingering wise. You do have to do this. Okay, if you want to do this movement. Ready? Quiz. F major 7. You got to say 8. G7, 10. And you'll get these shapes. You got to know your bass note first. G minor 7. G flat 7. F6. And yes, this is Girl from Ipanema. F major, then G flat 7. Okay, let's do E minor 7. And A7. And that's an example of like, oh, that's a pretty far leap to the 12th fret, and I'm doing the dominant. When it was much easier and closer to do this, we do want to do those 2-5-1s. But because right now we're just practicing the 5th string root, you got to move D major 7, E minor 7, A7, D major 7, D minor 7, G7, C major 7. This is a 2-5-1 exercise, just like the song Tune Up by Miles Davis. C minor 7, F7, B flat major 7. Ooh, see, this is a good example. Like, well, if I'm down here, then I got to do this. Use an open string when I could have just said this. So, you have to make the decision. Do you want to use open strings or no open strings? I think that was pretty good. How do you guys feel about your notes? You know your bass notes pretty well on the 6th and the 5th string. You have the shapes down. Feel free to type in. And if there's any song requests, let me know. Dave, I didn't know you were in San Jose. So now I know. That's awesome. I'm sure there's others who are nearby you who love to get together and jam. I know. Actually, yeah, San Jose. I know there's another Patreon member who posted recently saying he's in San Jose area looking for, some jamming on some of these standards. It's fun. You can use some of my etudes too. Let me see if I have, let's see. Darvin had said no more blues. Let me take a look at that one. I might try to do a screen share. I still have Hi How the Moon on here from the other day. Let's do this first since I've got it. I haven't done anything since I demonstrated that the other day on the 4-note shapes and the reading a lead sheet. So let me do a little screen share on that first, and we'll go through what I often do with my private lessons and process videos just to kind of show you what I'm thinking. And sometimes it's a trial and error. Let's see. Tell me if you can see this. How high the moon? There's no tab on this version here. I think I had my tabs here. I was demonstrating that you can hide tabs. Oh, I think I need to do a quick little primer here. Sound Sites is really a great program, and I recommend all of my Patreon members to take advantage of practicing with sound slides. Oh, I already have the 4-note shapes on this one. I'll remove those shapes so you just see the 3-note shapes. But I have already written this. Sometimes I like to write it in. Oh, here's a 13th chord. I don't know why I did 13 on that particular one. I wrote B flat 7. Let me fix that. Sometimes I'll write in kind of what I like to do. That's what I'll say. You'll see it say TK faves just for comping. But sometimes when I'm really playing, I don't like to limit myself. But that's where I suggest that you learn the basics, the 4-note full voicings, the 3-note voicings. Maybe you want to do 2-note voicings. Maybe you want to do subs and inversions. We never know. But again, today's lesson is on the basic level. So let's go ahead and remove the shapes here. I'm just going to the settings. If you didn't know that, you can hide the tabs. So now I just got the note. So, and I don't want to see the chord grids. So I just got the name. Just again, reading off a basic lead sheet. And you should be seeing me in the corner of your screen. Can somebody type in the chat? Do you still see me in the corner? Thanks, Keith. Okay, so here we go. Why don't you give it a try? G major 7. Somewhere there's music. C7. F major 7, your choice. Do you want to go down here to the 1st fret? Is that getting too low? Do you want to go up here, 8th fret on the 5th string? Okay, that's where you have to make that decision. I'll go down here. Hey, how high the moon? Whoa, B flat 7. This is B flat 13. That was my choice there, but see, that might have been a bad choice. So I probably should have gone up to F major. I mean, not that it's bad. It's still the right notes, but I'd probably been like, oh. So if you want to have a little bit of a rule on the E or the F notes, maybe go to the 5th string roots instead. And the B flat, go to the 6th string roots on down here, B flat or A. 1st fret or 2nd fret. That's just like a little general rule you can follow. Okay. Music, now fade the tune. Heaven, high the moon. You guys hanging with me so far? Ba-da-da-da. So that E flat major 7, and then A minor 7 flat 5, D7, G minor 7, A minor 7 flat 5, D7, G minor 7, A minor 7 flat 5, D7. And remember, A minor 7 is just the same shape as if you were to do A minor 7. And then G major 7. And you could go to G6 if you wanted to. You remember, these are interchangeable. And then 2-5. This is where it's important to know your theory. That you love me as I love you. Somewhere there's music. Let's finish this song. Great tune, great standard. G minor 7, C7 a little slower. Somewhere there's heaven. F minor 7, B flat 7, C section here. A minor 7 flat 5, D7, G major 7, 2-5, A minor 7, D7. We're almost done. And that was it. G major 7. You can do 1-6-2-5 turnaround. This is just a very basic lead sheet. Sometimes you might see something fancier. They're 1/6 G5, generally speaking. Again, I know you're not looking at it with me, but this is a good example right here. So let's do a different song. Let's do a different song here. And please feel free to type in the chat if you have a song that you mean to pop up on the screen, just a basic lead sheet, and we can talk about this together. I'm actually going to change that one B flat chord to just B flat 7. Again, sometimes I'll put in the TK phase for that I might do, but or if it's because of the melody, I might be a little bit more specific about the chord voicing. But you have to remember that these simplified 3-note voicings are just root third and 7th or 6th. There's no 9, there's no 5, there's no alterations. Okay, so let's see. Let's get rid of how high the moon. Type in, feel free to type in the chat here. Say hello, where you're at, who you are, where you're at. Let's see, let's get a little bit more. Okay, ooh, Darvin, I'm sorry, you chose a good one here. No more blues. Let's take a look at this one. You did this on purpose, didn't you? You chose this one on purpose. Good choice, but now you're gonna challenge me on this one. Joel, hey, Graham tuned in. Beautiful Love is a beautiful song. Let's take a look at Sugar de Saida, the No More Blues. So, okay, I know oh, that's kind of small. I know I said 90% of the songs. And, again, you have to learn to simplify. That's all. I'll keep saying this. Yeah, this is weird. It's not. Let me see if I can scroll it a different way. That's a little bit small for me. I can hopefully you guys can see it. D minor 7, E7 slash B, E7 flat 9, E minor 7 flat 5, A7 flat 9. Again, this is just a lead sheet that you would see if you were to open up a fake book. Okay, so the D minor, I'm going to play D minor 7. D minor slash C, I'm going to still play D minor 7. Okay, you got to learn to simplify, like I said. So in this case, again, you can play, but there's a trick. You can play F6 and then put C in the bass. Again, so I'm kind of I'm kind of getting a little bit further advanced. Like I was saying, you can also suss out chords. You can, if you know these tricks about inversions, then you could just kind of reprogram yourself. But again, I'm just talking about just reading this basic lead sheet here. D minor, E7, E7. So here it is as a bossa. E minor 7 flat 5, A7, D minor, E minor 7 flat 5 to A7. Quick change. If this time This no, yeah. There you go. E flat 7, F minor 7 flat 5, A7. I'm not sure about that F minor 7 flat 5. I think that's supposed to be E minor 7 flat 5. This is where I would like to cross reference with my other fake books, instead of just pulling things off the internet. By the way, this progression, that A section, if you are a Gypsy Jazzer, you're going to know this as Bossa Dorado. That's probably where Dorado got the progression, was from Jobim's No More Blues. It's always kind of nice to see those common chord progression. Let's see here. I'm just going to cross-reference with my fake book to see if it's in this one. Yeah, it is. And I'm just looking at the real book, by the way. D minor. So yeah, D minor slash C, E7 slash B, E7. They don't have the flat 9s in this book. E minor 7 flat 5. I'm just cross-referencing. A7 flat 9. We'll just do A7 again. That's the thing, you guys. Make sure you learn how to reduce. Don't worry about the flat 9s. We know it's in a minor key and it's dark. You don't need to have it in your chord unless you're doing chord melody. The flat 9 is on there. Then D minor, E minor 7 flat 5 to A7. D minor, B minor 7 flat 5 to E7. So that's where it differs there. So again, this lead sheet is different. I'd probably not use this one right now. Choose a different song, you guys. Let's go through another standard. But yeah, again, just learn to simplify. That's all I can say. It's going to sound good. If you saw what I was saw, if you saw what I'm looking at right now, which is just a real book, you know, that's whenever you have these slash chords, that's oftentimes you want to kind of pay attention to the bass line. It's nice to have the bass line, but there is a trick. Like oftentimes on a minor, like A minor 7, you can just drop it down to the G, A minor slash G. You can just move the bass note essentially if you can catch the bass. If not, if you're just comping, just ignore it because it's usually just an inversion. So D minor 7 slash C, you just play D minor 7. But you can also do F6 slash C, and that would accomplish that beautifully. So again, there are some little tricks and hacks that we can do. I'm going to look at the chat, see if there's another song. Graham says Angel Eyes. Let's take a look. I'm just going to open up my fake book here. And again, if we were in the same room, I would just pop it on the stand and we would just jam together. That's the best way. That's why I want you guys to find others in your area and get together and just read through the fake book. Again, that's something that's very valuable. Or use my sound slice practice videos, the ones where I actually go through it very carefully and double check the charts. So Angel Eyes, a great old standard here. I don't think I have this yet on Patreon, so this might be one that I'll have to do, Graham, for you. Okay, kind of a minor key song here. You guys know it. And I might be able to just pop it in really quick here too. 3-note voicings. I'm just demonstrating the 4-note voicing so you can hear the chord melody, the full voicings, 5 notes actually in this case, the B section. 3-note voicings. You can walk the bass. Two 5-1s. So you really just want to practice a lot of 2-5-1s, 2-5-1, and just get to know the song. That one's a great one for 3-note voicings. The B section, 2-5-1, diminish. So there's a really great trick here, like on a 2-5-1. Watch me do the 2-5-1. I'll just do it on A minor 7, D7, G. Watch my fingers here. Oh, let me make sure that. So thanks, Graham, for choosing that one. I'll put that one on Patreon. So here as A minor 7, D7, G major 7, C major 7. Again, to me, the best standard you can possibly work on is Autumn Leaves. That's why I have so many materials on Autumn Leaves on Patreon. So A minor 7. Watch my third finger. This is to me why I recommend that use shell voicings on exclusively 6-5, 6-4-3, 5-4-3. I'll say that again. For the 3-note chord voicings called the shell voicings, use string sets 6-4-3 or 5-4-3. I'll show you case in point here, 2-5-1. A minor 7, D7, G major 7, C major 7, F sharp minor 7 flat 5, B7, E minor 7, E7. So again, this is Autumn Leaves, but check out my ring. This is very important. My ring finger just glides. It does not lift. It doesn't leave the third string at all. Unless you want to get that 6. Then you have to do that. That's why I say practice separately. Minor 7, minor 6. And that's also going to be your dim 7 shape. But again, if you look at these jazz standards, minors, again, 7th chords, that's pretty much what you're going to exclusively need to play. Let's play, many of you love the song standard, All the Things You Are. So again, that ring finger through the complex song, like All the Things You Are, changes 5 keys, but tons of 2-5-1s. My ring finger did not lift off the 3rd string. Check out the ring finger again. Tritone. Practice tritone 7. This. 1 6 2 5 1 6 2 5 3 6 2 5 1. Rhythm changes. So, you can play. One of the reasons, the benefits of these 3-note voicings is that you can play really at these fast tempos, but especially in a duo situation, you can be the bass player. Check out just a walking bass line 1 6 2 5, key of G. One, 6, 2, not enough coffee. Try down step. So yeah. Oh, here's just here's the scale. These are some great exercise. Now I'm just letting the caffeine take over my body. No, I'm joking. I'm not that caffeinated. I need some now. What time is it? 5:30. Yeah, my cutoff is usually about 10 p.m. Hey, Sparrow. Oh yeah, for sure. So check this out. This is a good exercise. Now I'm just kind of going into some exercise besides just playing standards, but we could play through a couple more standards. Bossas, summertime. I love the moving bass lines. Or this. Summertime. You can walk the bass and the living is easy. Diminish. Again, now I'm getting a little bit fancy. I'm going through different variations on baseline movement, but again, just on a really basic level, it's important to get down to 165, 365, just really important subs. Let's see, what was I going to say? Oh, and then the really great exercise, and I demonstrate this on the 4-note voicings, the grip chord voicings, is go through the scale, harmonized scale. F major, so we have F major 7, G minor 7, A minor 7, B flat major 7, C7, D minor 7. Notice I'm staying exclusively on the 6th string in this case. E half diminished. It just looks like a minor 7. E minor 7, F major 7. Back down. I'll play it without talking. We're in the key of F. 4, big numbers. 3, 2, 5, 1. And then you can add that voice leading like this. And that's what Barry Harris talks about when he watches videos, often those beautiful inner voice leading. So here's C major. Let's do it in the key of C. Again, at this point, I would hope that you know this. Your C scale first, okay? And then you can put the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Notice the 6 and 7, they're the same because it's just 3-note voicings. I'll say that again, C major 7. This is the harmonized scale on 3-note voicings, shell shapes. D minor 7, E minor 7, F major 7, G7, A minor 7, B minor 7 flat 5, and C major 7. Go descending. Very pretty. Then try this 7 to the 6 inner voice leading exercise a la Barry Harris, like this. That's really a nice inner voicing just for comping, and it just creates a little bit of a voice leading and harmonic, motion, even though you're just on a static chord. Well, I think that's about it. It's dinner time. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this 3-note shell voicing lesson was fun for you. If you're on Patreon, if you're not on Patreon, join Patreon. If you're not on Patreon, please consider joining. You can join at the free tier if you want, but all the good stuff is at the silver tier, and all of the videos you can get at the platinum tier. And then I'm currently full on the diamond tier lessons, but I might have a few openings coming up in April. April Fools, no joking. There'll be a few ones. Thanks, Spiral. Good to see you guys. Have a good weekend. I might see you tomorrow. Cheers.